If you're getting into sports betting, there are two things you must understand first: how to read the odds and how to place your bets. Placing a bet is simple. You can do it at a casino or through an online sportsbook. Once you place your bet, you'll receive a betting slip. Here are some examples of slips I've posted last year, and by the end of this module, you'll know how to place and read these betting slips, so we'll come back to these later. When you log into your sportsbook and open an event, this is what you'll typically see. Odds are the numbers that determine how much you'll make from your bet, and the higher the implied probability is of your bet winning, the lower the odds. For example, if a strong team plays a weak one, betting on the favorite to win will give you a smaller payout since they're more likely to win. But if you take a bigger risk and bet on the underdog, you'll win more money because you made a riskier play. Now, sportsbooks have different formatting for odds, as you can see here. Decimal odds is the simplest in my opinion because you just multiply the odds by your bet to know your payout. So if your odds are 2 and you're betting $100, you just simply multiply 100 by 2 and you get a $200 payout. You don't really need to learn how the other odds formats work, but you can always set your preferred format in your sportsbook settings. But if you are curious to learn more, then you can always check the resources in the module hub linked below. So now let's hop into the betting markets. A betting market is basically the type of bet you want to make, and there are 3 main betting markets. Let's start off with the easiest market, which is the money line. With the money line, you basically predict which team will win the game. Very simple. Another betting market is totals. So with totals, you simply bet if the combined score in a game goes higher or lower the number set by the sportsbooks. So here the books set the line at 244.5. So if the game ends at 245 or higher, then the game went over. But if the game ends 244 or lower, then the game went under the total. Now let's talk about point spreads. A spread adjusts the score to make the games more even. So the underdog gets extra points and can't lose by more than the spread's number, whereas the favorite loses points and needs to win by more than the spread's number. So for this example here, the line for the spread is set at 4.5. If you bet your money on the Lakers to cover the spread, then they are the underdogs, so they need to win outright or not lose by more than 4 points. Whereas if you bet on the Pacers, who are the favorite, then they must win by more than 4 points to cover the spread and win your bet. So a quick example here from an NBA game. Oklahoma City beat the Denver Nuggets 127-103. These were the closing odds, and so if you decided to bet on the money line, you would choose who won the game, or who wins the game, either Denver or OKC. Now, OKC won outright here, so if you bet $100 on them, you would have made $33 from this play. The Denver Nuggets are the underdogs in this matchup, so betting on them to win outright offers a higher payout since they are expected to lose. Now, if you instead decided to bet $100 on the total, you would either bet on the game to go over or under. The game here ended at 230 points, which is less than the line. So that means if you bet $100 on the game to go under, you would have made $91 profit because the combined score is lower than the set total. And of course, if you did bet on the over, you were wrong and you lose your $100 bet. Now let's look at the spread here. We have the spread set at 7.5. So the favorite OKC needs to win by 8 points or more to cover the spread. But the Denver Nuggets, what they need to do is either win outright or not lose by 8 points. We see that OKC destroyed Denver here, winning by 24 points. So they did cover the spread with these, and if you put your $100 on them to cover minus 7.5, then you would have made $91 in profit. And if you put your money on Denver Nuggets to cover the spread, then they did not, and you would have lost your bet. Let's go back to our betting slips here that I showed earlier. In the first slip, I bet $2,200 on this baseball game to go under 8 runs. And as you can see here, it lost because the final total was 12 runs. So I just lost $2,200 on this day. But in the second slip, I bet on the New York Rangers in hockey to win outright, and I won. So to calculate the payout, you multiply the wager, 2,200, by the odds, 3.20, and you get this number right here in return. To find your profit, you subtract your initial wager from the total amount returned, and that's how much money I made from this play. So the day ended, and I did make some profit just because of the better odds on the New York Rangers. So that covers the basics for odds and betting markets. If you'd like to practice or learn more about other markets like player props, be sure to check out the link in the module hub below. I hope everything was clear and easy, and I'll see you in the next module where we talk about line movements and line shopping.